welcome back, and let's get rolling with your next math video lesson. If you'd like to follow along in the book, this lesson would be lesson 6 in chapter 4, page 205, and it's called Writing Equations. So we've been working for weeks now on the distributive property and one-step equations and two-step equations and equations with variables on both sides, and we even dabbled in multi-step equations, and my goodness, we've been solving equations until we almost can't think straight, or at least that's kind of how I feel. But today we're going to kind of take a break from all that, and we are going to practice our skills at writing equations. We're going to see how good you are at reading a sentence, picking out the math terminology, and turning it into something that looks like a math equation with numbers and symbols. So it says here in red that today you will be translating sentences into equations. We're not solving all of these equations today. We might do one or two here at the end of this video where we actually do set up an equation and then solve it. But for the most part, we're just going to practice recognizing math terminology and trying to work that terminology into a math equation. So if I were you, I would either write down the definitions here that you see in green, or the little key words that you're going to see in green, or do a screenshot and print these out. In a nutshell, here's what it says. These are some words that you might see today that would indicate addition in a math problem. The word sum, S-U-M, more than, increase by, or in all. If you see those words, it means somewhere in your problem you need to be putting an addition symbol. Words that mean subtract would be the difference, or the difference between. Less than means subtract, or less, or decreased by. And we're going to have to be really careful when we're setting up subtraction, because remember that subtraction has to be done in the right order. Whereas like addition can be done 2 plus 3 or 3 plus 2. Subtraction isn't like that. Subtraction and division both have to be set up in the correct order, or you'll get a wrong answer, right? You'll have to set it up in the right order. So those will be a little tricky to get set up today, the subtraction and division ones. Here are some words that would indicate that you need to be putting multiplication symbols in your equation. Each. If you see the word each, that means you need to be inserting a multiplication symbol, or product, or multiplied, or twice. Twice a number would be 2 times that number. And words that mean divide are obviously divide. Quotient, that's how you say this one, quotient. Per means divide, and separate means divide. And here again is my little reminder that be very careful when you're writing subtraction and division problems. They must be in the correct order. And down here at the bottom, 2 more additional hints. When you see the word is, that really means equals. So if you see the word is in one of these sentences today, you're going to be inserting an equal sign, and you're going to see the words a number quite often. When it says for more than a number, you don't get to choose any number you want. A number means like the mystery number, which means a variable. So when you see the words a number, you need to be choosing a variable. So maybe you want to choose n for number. I always advise kids that when they're choosing their own variables, make sure you don't choose a variable that could sometimes look like something else. Like you might not want to choose an x because it might look like a times sign. You might not want to choose an L because it might look like a 1. I wouldn't choose an S because it can sometimes look like a 5. So be very careful when you're choosing whatever variable you choose to use so that you don't mistake it accidentally for a symbol of math or an actual number. All right, so here's examples of what we're going to be doing. It says, translate each sentence into an equation. Here's the first one. I'm going to read it once straight through. Then I'm going to go back and take notes on it. It says, for more than 3 times a number x is negative 26. Great. So I read it once and I have no idea. Let's read it again slower, and then let's take some some notes as we're reading. 4, that's a number. More than, that means adding. 3, that's a number. Times, that means multiply. A number, x. Okay, remember what I said, a number means a variable, and they're telling you to use x in this case. So I'm going to put my fancy little wavy x there. Is, that was one of those additional hints, is an equal sign, and there's negative 26. Guess what? You almost just wrote the equation. The equation is 4 plus 3 times x, that's 3 times x, equals negative 26. And you don't have to solve this today, you just have to set it up. 4 more than 3 times the number x is negative 26. Awesome. Good job. So really the key to this is talking your way through it, maybe 3 or 4 times. Notice I didn't just read it once and then write the equation. I read it, then I read it again, and then I kind of read it again, and maybe even a 4th time to see if I think my equation represents the sentence that I just read. Let's do this one. This one's talking about Hannah. She's got some stickers. Let's read it. We won't take notes on it yet. Hannah has 24 stickers. This is 6 less than twice the number of stickers n that Molly has. All right, let's go back and take some notes. Hannah has 24 stickers, so I know that that's 24. This is, I see an equal sign for the word is, 6 less than 6 less than means take 6 away from. Take 6 away from something. 6 less than, okay, let's keep going, twice the number of stickers n that Molly has. Twice the number means 2 times. 2 times what? 2 times the number of stickers n. So 2 times n, which is what Molly has. So let's think about this again. 24 equals, take 6 away from 2 times n. This whole piece of it right here, this 6 less than, this is the part where it gets tricky. Because 6 less than means you're subtracting 6 off of something. It's not 6 minus 2 times n. It's 2 times n. Then you take 6 off of that. So then it subtracts 6. So it's going to look like this. 24 equals 2 times n, then minus 6. This is showing 6 less than twice the number n, and that equals 24. I told you those subtraction ones get tricky. Let's do another one. Quotient. Okay, let's read it. The quotient of a number n and 7 increased by 6 is equal to 12. Okay, let's go back and put some notes in here. Quotient means division of a number n and 7. Increase by means add. 6 is an equal sign. Is equal to 12. Okay, so if I go back and look at my notes, I need to be dividing n and 7. So n divided by 7 plus 6 is equal to 12. Another way you might want to write n divided by 7 is like this. That means n divided by 7. Add 6 equals 12. Both of those would be correct. I would allow either of those answers. That is right. That is right. There's There's no secret to doing this well. I can't teach you steps really for this. You just have to really talk your way through them. Now let's look at two final problems where we do have to solve them. We're going to set up the equations and then we're going to solve them. And I know that because the directions say write and solve the equation. So if it says solve, we want to actually find out a final answer. It says Juan's father was 29 years old when Juan was born. This year, so right now, the sum of their ages, okay, that means adding, is 53. So when I add their ages, it's going to equal 53. But I don't know how old either one of them is. But I know I have Juan at some age, plus Juan's dad, and that equals 53 years. Now, I don't know how old Juan is, and I don't know how old Juan's dad is, but I do know some things about their age. I know that when Juan was born, his dad was 29 years older than him. So let's make Juan's age, which we don't know, it's a variable, it's a mystery number, J. However old Juan is, that's J. Which would make his dad Juan's age plus 29 years. Right? Because Juan's dad is 29 years older than Juan. So if Juan is 1, his dad is 30. If Juan is 10, his dad is 39. Okay? Because he's 29 years older. So that's our equation. It's J plus 29 equals 53. J plus J gives us 2J plus, oops, I wrote the wrong number, plus 29 equals 53. Do you know what to do? Subtract 29, subtract 29, so I end up with 2J. Now I've got a 24 over here. Divide by 2, divide by 2. J is 12. What does that mean? J is 12. That means Juan is 12. So now it says find their ages. So go back to your equation. If Juan is 12, how old is his dad? Well, what's 12 plus 29? 41. Juan is 12 and his dad is 41. And you add those numbers up and that does equal 53. Last problem. Okay, Daisha is saving dollars. She saved D dollars last month. That means we don't know how much, but last month it was D, some amount. This month, she saved $8 more than 3 times the amount she saved last month. Oh my gosh, I have to go back and read that again. This month, she saved $8 more than, that means adding, 3 times the amount she saved last month. The amount she saved last month was D. Okay, she saved a total of $141. That's if you put both months together. A total means add those amounts together. So how much did she save last month? Okay, let's go back and sort this out. I know I have to take last month plus this month, and that's going to equal $141. So however much last month plus this month. All right, well, how much was last month? Last month it was D dollars. The problem tells us that. This month it's 8 more than 3 times D. 8 plus 3D. So there's your equation. It's D plus 8 plus 3D, right? There's last month and this month, and it has to equal $141. So I see that I can put this D and the 3D together. That gives me 4D plus 8 equals 14. Subtract 8, subtract 8. 4D, oops, 141, sorry, not 14. Subtract 8, 4D equals 133. Divide by 4, and D equals $33.25. Question says, how much did she save last month? This is last month. If that's the value of D, she saved $33.25 just last month. That would be here. If you wanted to know how much she saved this month, you could multiply that number by 3 and then add 8, and that would tell you how much she saved this month. Because last month plus this month has to equal 141. Are these tricky? Yes, they are. What makes you good at them? Practice. Honest to God, that's what it is. It's practice. And we'll be practicing during class, right? Here's your assignment. If you care to look at it ahead of time, you can take a quick little peek. Otherwise, we'll be tackling these in class. All right? Let's just try to do our best with all of this. And we'll be back solving equations and inequalities before you know it. Thanks for watching.